Hi, Homeworthy, I'm Heather.
And I'm Matt. Welcome to our New Mexico home.
Come on in, we can't wait to show you around.
You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story.
Hi, I'm Heather French.
And I'm Matt French. We're the design duo behind French and French Interiors.
Welcome to our home in Santa Fe, New Mexico. So what first drew us to the home was this huge wall of ivy that you'll see out in the courtyard. It's a really unique feature for Santa Fe, and I know that's an odd thing to kind of fall in love with for a house, but it was really special. I love gardens. So when we walked in the home for the first time, it needed life, you know? It had good bones. We could see what it could become. It didn't really have much of a soul anymore.
To us, into our eyes, you know, it was a mess.
It was a beautiful mess. It was like a perfect mess.
Yeah, but it was well taken care of. There had been remodels over the years that were pretty disconnected, so it just didn't have a lot of continuity, and you know, it had a lot of potential to be a big family house, and we saw it as that, even though it was sort of broken up.
And so that was really something we were looking for. We didn't want a bad remodel. We just wanted something that hadn't been touched yet. So it was perfect for us.
I would say the architectural style of the home is territorial New Mexican, which is really a mix of Pueblo style architecture here, mixed with sort of a federal or neoclassical style.
You know, Santa Fe it's such a grounded, earthy place, and we love living here. It's an honor to live here. I think there's a casualness about Santa Fe that we love, you know, and I try to pull that through in many different ways in how we design in general, especially in our own home. I don't want to live in a stuffy house at all. I don't want to use coasters. I don't want to have to worry about the dogs getting on the couch and, you know, things getting messed up. It's a very real home, and I think Santa Fe really grounds us in that way.
Yeah, I feel like if you can't deal with like dust and chaos, then, you know, it's probably not the place for you. And, you know, the Western landscape in general, I think really, you know, either draws people in or spits them out. But there's something about like the expansiveness, you know, like it's a different type of abundance, you know. There's something about living here that I think definitely has shaped us. We've been here 20 years, and we love to travel, but we love to come back. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I think, you know, one of the obvious things is Santa Fe is, you know, the third largest art community in the country. And so we have access to really incredible artists and, you know, potters and anything that you could imagine. And so we really look to these local artists for that inspiration as well, for sure.
This is our entry room, but it also really works for us as like a library and a area where Isla studies overflow in big parties. We really come in here and check out a book.
Yeah, so like Matt said, this is the first room that you enter into when you come into the home, and we really wanted it to feel dramatic and cozy. And we have a lot of books. We're old school, we love books, and we have a really great art collection as well. And I think this is the room that holds most of it. So you'll see that as you come through the space with us.
We put in these cabinets, and we really like an area to throw things and store things rather. But we really entertain out of this room a lot. So a lot of our serving things we keep. We love to have punches. It's fun, kind of reminds me of my Southern upbringing. We would always have party punches. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we have a great collection of different pieces of pottery that we've collected from our local pueblos, which has been really fun for Matt and I. When we travel, we try to pick something up.
This is like a micaceous bowl that you can see has got like the fire kisses on it. And what else? I used to collect a lot of decanters when I was drinking more, but now I'll just keep air in there.
They're just pretty.
Atmospheric level air. This basket we just got from a new dear friend and one of our favorite places, Nantucket. Our buddy Kathleen Hay just sent this, and it's a lighthouse basket that the lighthouse keepers would make to sell in town back in the day in Nantucket.
Yeah, and then this piece right here is a great piece that we got from the folk art market here in Santa Fe that happens once a year. There's hundreds of artists that come from all over the world. So we got that from there. And
so Heather's gotten into silver lately, which has become a fun thing for me to pick around and find. This is a 1940s-ish Mexican sterling coffee service set. You know, I started collecting brass when I was a kid, and I like ducks. I do like ducks. That's one of the things I like to find. I don't know. Duckhead was a big brand when I was a kid, and it was like this aspirational, like preppy, like outdoors gentleman sort of thing, maybe is what drew me to ducks, yeah. But brass in general. Heather's gotten into, we love finding these great little like woven flat pieces that are a part of northern New Mexico tradition to weave these little flat pieces. This is a good example of like Acoma Pueblo's like line work. They do all this really great geometrical line work. This horse is from Taos. It's seen some love, taken some tumbles.
so we wanted this really dramatic color here in the library. So we used Carriage House Red by Benjamin Moore in a high gloss. And you know, added in the lighting, the brass lighting from Visual Comfort, and then decided to wallpaper the ceiling with our dear friend Claire Stasak's new line from Centered by Design, which we love. And we refaced the fireplace, which was really fun. We just added a brick detail and plastered this room, which was nice to do. So this space we really use for a lot of overflow dining. The kids really end up gathering here. We'll have a bunch of kids hanging out and, you know, goofing off, being wild. I love these chairs. We did like a different fabric out back than in back. They're by Coley Home. They're really, really comfortable and durable and beautiful. This Theodore Alexander table is really fun. It leafs out and folds in. It's like a little puzzle. It's really cute. And then throughout the house, you're gonna see quite a bit of Swedish Gustavian pieces that we've collected over the years. This piece from the 1700s is one of my favorites. I love the paint detail on it. We have a friend here that collects these, and then we'll send them our way when she finds something that she knows that we'll love. You're also gonna see this arch detail that we've added throughout the house. You'll see this repeating throughout the space as well. So come on into our dining room.
So this space we think of as like a dining hall. It's like a hallway that sort of didn't really work before with a regular table out in the space. So we did this banquette here. We've had like 15 people at this table. We use it a lot. We love it.
This hallway felt like a waste of space. It was really large and overscaled to not use it. And so we did this custom banquette up along the wall and then brought it out a little bit, you can see, so that you get enough seating all around the table. And then use this really fun Schumacher fabric and then a really durable mohair on the seat, which we love. And like Matt said, this is really where all of our dinner parties happen. It's messy and fun, and nobody has to worry about what happens here. It's great.
Yeah.
So I found these really great sconces, which I felt like was a little bit of a nod to Santa Fe with the arrows on it that I love. I found them on Cherish, and then we added this really great Cooper Classics mirror, which I think just kind of bounces a lot of light in the space, and you have the kitchen adjacent. So it just makes it feel a little bit more pulled together from the kitchen into the dining area. And then we have these great lights from Beata Human, which we love. They're the dodo lamps, which are so fun.
But a little more on this table. This is a reproduction. Walter Anderson, one of my favorite artists, out of Ocean Springs, Mississippi. It's a big inspiration to me. This guy, just lifestyle and work-wise. And Heather surprised me with this. And these woodpeckers really like such a totem animal for me.
So this hutch really kind of houses our candles and things like that for dinner parties. And then just, kind of like the junk drawer. And this piece is another Gustavian piece. I love how it's this demi-lune shape here. And we have these, it's just really dainty and pretty and a sweet piece. You gotta have storage. But when it comes to our sense of style, I would definitely say we're maximalists. We're definitely traditionalists. We like things to feel sophisticated, but still playful and relatable and family friendly. I feel like that's the key to every house that we do. And this was the first house that we've lived in where we were actually really able to do what we do, which was great. So we didn't hold back. We used all the color, all the patterns, everything that we loved, and it was a blast to be able to do.
I would only add like eclectic and sort of collected. I feel like what we do is like a bit more subtle. In the use of maximalism. I don't know, not to sort of become professorial about it all, but I don't know. It's a tricky one to do,
Yeah.
It's like trying to pick a favorite of something.
Yeah, I mean, I would say we're maximalists, but
Yeah.
he's a collector.
Wow. We're maximalists. Now coming into the kitchen here, this was about a 28-inch pocket door that we were able to open out without changing the structure any. So yeah, it really opened up the flow into this without making it sort of an open concept, but we can come in now to the kitchen space we love so much.
Yeah, we're not big fans of open concept kitchens. I like the kitchen to be separate and not part of the living space. So because of that reason, we really, we needed a lot of storage in here, and we wanted to have a eat-in kitchen as well as an island. So we were able to accomplish that now with this new layout that we did. We also have, this is where we store all of our china, which we use every day. And I love how this turned out. Now we're in the kitchen, and this is one of my favorite spots in the house. I love this detail of the window and this backsplash here. We didn't want to move the window, which was existing, and so we added this backsplash to kind of define the area, and then we did a custom brass sink.
I'm pretty lucky. It's one of her favorite places.
Except he does all the dishes.
But yeah, well, it's a fair trade. I love an early morning, and I love to be in here in the morning. It's great, even though we don't get good east light. It's just such a great place to be. And one of my favorite things to drink my morning coffee out of is this Kit Kemp's Wedgwood collection. We love Kit Kemp.
It's called Mythical Creatures. It's really cute and hand painted and folky, which is something that we like to keep in mind as we're collecting things.
This plate right here, speaking of hand planted, is like a portrait of us at our country place. But it's like a portrait of us at the Grand Hotel in Mackinac, which is like a fun memory.
Yeah. So I had this done for Christmas for the family when we moved from our house south of town into town. And she did a great job of taking a portrait of us and then putting the house behind it, which was really, really sweet. And we collect cutting boards and all sorts of like different types of useful kitchen items, which is great. We have the collection of Jell-O molds, which I love. And I love how it just adds some dimension to the space, but it's still utilitarian. And then we have the Duval brass rods here, where we have our ristras, which is a very New Mexican thing. And yeah, this is really the heart of the home, and where all of our meals happen. We have breakfast here every morning, and it's a great, fun, beautiful, light and bright space.
So we added this hood here in a diamond finished plaster, and we love this table here. We use it as an island. It's from France. We're not sure like how it got all this like great patina, but there's like this interesting scoop out of there, and like someone put some time in working at this table. And then we really wanted like a eat-in sort of breakfast nook, so we were able to squeeze in this little corner here, built-in banquette, and another little Swedish table here. But we love how these wheels on this chair let it like really come into the little tight spot like this.
Yeah, so I found this Swedish table at an antique store here in Santa Fe, and loved how just worn and kind of buckled and painted and it is. I feel like, there's been a million breakfasts and dinners here and lots of conversation. It's a great piece that we found.
Yeah, this is another little funny spot. I feel like we fit 15 people in here too. It's great at a party where banquettes, people can just like all pile in together and sit at the cliffside here, this Slim Aaron's piece here. We love to kind of like be a part of this, this little scene here.
We love Slim Aaron's. You'll see a lot of photos of his throughout our house, and we like how it represents lifestyle and like living the good life. This is the room that we call our blue room, and it's probably the most used room in the house. We'll eat dinner in here at night when it's just the three of us, and it's feeling casual and cozy. And, after a long day, it's a really nice place to kick up your feet and watch TV and, cuddle up. So in here, we added all of the millwork on the walls, which was a really easy way to cozy the space and really make it feel a bit more purposeful. And we also added this Elizabeth Aiken wallpaper on the ceiling, which I love. It's one of my favorite wallpapers. And then really layered a lot of pattern with fabrics throughout the space and layered rugs. So it really gives it that cozy feel. We used Sewn Britain and Sister Parish, as well as Schumacher on all of the pillows on the sofa and chairs as well. Which I actually found these chairs on Cherish, which was a great find. And then we have this ottoman that we'll kick our feet up on and really spend a lot of time in here. It's a great spot. So I think one of the tricks when you want to use a lot of pattern in a space is to make sure the patterns are really scaled differently and appropriately. So you want to have a large scale pattern, and then a small scale pattern, and a medium scale pattern. And you want to really make sure that you're adding in solids as well and using a really grounding color in the space. One of the things that I like about this space is that we use blue, hence the blue room. And I think that when you do that, there is a way to use lots of color, but when you do that and you're using one color as the main grounding color in a space, it really makes the space feel calm, which is what we wanted in this room.
In here we have some more Slim Aaron's photographs, and we kind of just love that like aspirational lifestyle he was capturing. These are all from his Riviera's collection of wealthy Europeans doing beautiful things.
So now we're walking into the living room, which is the biggest room in the house. And one that we also really wanted to make it feel a bit more scaled down and cozy. So we added in this really great drapery to help make it feel a little bit more human scaled. And when we didn't have this, the room just felt huge and vast. And so we layered in the drapery as well as all of this furniture. And this is really the room where we have lots of parties and people hanging out.
Yeah, our big Christmas party, we usually set the bar up right here, and there'll be like lines going in every direction.
Yeah.
This room will be just like, I don't know, like 50 people in here.
Yeah, our last Christmas party was about 200 people, and so this was completely packed. And the kids will come here and play games and watch movies and, you know, really kind of pile up, and it's a really fun space. I love this room. Yeah, so we added the wallpaper, this really beautiful grass cloth wallpaper, which is by Elizabeth Aiken. And I love how it just added a lot of texture and pattern to the space.
We like to cozy up to this this gas fireplace here in the wintertime. This is a really fun spot. There's been a lot of fun memories here. This is where we put our Christmas tree, actually, and open presents. And yeah, this is kind of like a Christmas room in that regard, you know.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
The main mantle that we decorate.
Yeah, so we used a lot of soft fabrics in here. We used mohairs and velvets to really kind of continue with that very cozy feel. And then with the pillows, added in a lot of pattern in here as well. And this room is really open to the rest of the house. And so, you know, it's a bit more of a formal space. Our pets really like it quite a bit. It's light and bright and airy, and they hang out in here a lot. And we use it a little bit more for our personal purposes, as like a movie night or something like that when we're having people over.
Yeah, and actually we have two pieces in here that sort of illustrate something we love to do for clients, and is that this baker sofa here Heather found at a local shop, and it's such a good example of why we encourage people to buy really well-made, you know, North Carolina furniture, because, you know, that was someone's grandmother's piece that's totally worth covering and investing in on, as well as this George Smith piece that, you know, really can last for so many generations with, you know, is worth the investment and worth recovering one day.
Yeah, so when we bought it, it was a bright pink linen. It was pretty ugly. And so we recovered it in this off-white mohair and then skirted it. We did this like really nice large box pleat skirt, which I love. And you know, like there's been spills on it and all sorts of things, and you can just wipe it off of mohair, so you can have a white couch with all the pets. So we let our animals on everything. They're, you know, a part of the family, and we don't tell them that they can't get on the sofa or the bed or anything. And so I just put a beautiful blanket down and let them do their thing, you know. So yeah, I have this like nice silk velvet blanket that we have on there to help with, you know, them when they're dirty. And we just take that off and wash it, and it's easy.
You know, another thing that we did in this room to sort of bring the ceiling down and make it feel like a better scale is to add these monumental visual comfort woven light chandeliers here. You can't really tell how big they are in this space, but they're massive. And we kind of, in a way, created like a different ceiling height in that regard with these. We love them.
And it really helped kind of bring down the scale of the room to put in such big pieces. Yeah, so this butterfly table by Theodore Alexander, it's a really beautiful marquetry, and you know, can hide remotes and stuff like that. But I bought it because my dad used to call my mom his butterfly, and so this reminds me of them. I love this piece. We
have these several examples of these Dutch colonial pieces that there's a local antiques importer that looks out for round tables for us every time he travels over there. but most of these are hand carved, and they're interesting. They're copies from turned pieces, Dutch turned pieces that the local carpenters there in Indonesia and the surrounding islands would carve by hand to match like the turned pieces.
Yeah, and yeah, you can really see here like how I'll move that for you, but how inspired they were by what they were seeing, but then didn't have the proper tools. And so you can see all of the hand carved aspects of this, which is from the 1700s. I love this piece.
And the one on the other side of the sofa has got an interesting shape to it. This is another Dutch colonial piece with a carved pedestal. But one of the interesting things about it is it has this basin down here that would hold water to keep ants from being able to crawl up the table. Love this table. This is this another one from her? One of these Gustavian pieces. It's almost got like an Art Deco like reading to it, but we love this one. I hate to say it, but I did cut the legs off of it to fit it under the TV. But I still got them. If anybody wants this piece, I'll put them back on them for you.
So this piece by Blaine Macaulay I really love. She came out, she's from Atlanta, but she came out here and did a artist retreat residency and was at the Georgia O'Keeffe house up in Abiquiu. And this was her rendition of the Georgia O'Keeffe house. And I love how she added these little ducks, because we love ducks and birds. We have chickens in our house.
This is a great Adirondack piece. It really reminds me a lot of the Appalachian like bent willow pieces I grew up with, and like willow furniture.
I don't know. I love this house, and it took me a little while to fall in love with it, but I do. I love this house. But I think my absolute favorite thing is the gardens. Every time I walk out there, I was just saying the other day, like I kind of can't believe that we get to live in that space. That's my favorite.
My favorite thing about this house is kind of where it is, you know, being so close to the mountains and the trails. I can go in any direction basically and be out, but like inside the house, if I'm being like 100%, I'm gonna say I really love having like being able to have like a studio space and the garage out there, you know. I mean, like, not
It
the
is his
joke, but
favorite
it's just
space. The
like
garage is his
it is my
favorite space,
favorite.
it's
If we're
true.
being like straight up favorite. But
And then I would say the space that we all hang out together the most is our blue room. We call it the blue room. It's the den. So now we're outside in our back patio, which is a really great, cool. It's north facing, so it tends to be a little bit cooler on this side, which is great. We eat dinner out here and just have like a loungy area, and our daughter Isla will hang up a sheet and do some outdoor movies out here, which is really fun to see. Out here in this courtyard, we added a lot of espalier apples as well as lavender and echinacea, which is something that grows really well here in Santa Fe. And then I found this antique set at a local antique shop that I adore here. And we redid all of the flatwork throughout the property and added all of the stonework as well. There used to be railroad ties throughout it, and it just kind of helps ground the space.
so we actually opened up this wall and had this gate made here to be able to walk out this way, which we love to have this like entryway moment. Framed here by these wireless Pookie lamps here. These are, you can recharge them, they're great, and we just love them. You'll see them all over.
So one of the entire reasons that we bought the house was this ivy wall, which is really unique for New Mexico. We walked back here and fell in love with it and decided this was our place, so we named it the Ivy House.
This wisteria actually was here somewhere else, but we had it moved to here, and then this one's going to catch up to it. But we did a lot of work on the landscape here, and
Yeah, originally there was about 36 dead pinon trees that needed to come out. It was just a fire hazard. And so the entire backyard really needed to be rethought. And so we wanted more entertaining area, so we added that gateway, and then all of this flat work, as well as this big grassy area, which we love. So we host a lot out here and have little bonfires and, lounge and read and, just have a relaxing time. We're out here almost every evening, out here in the vegetable garden and just kind of hanging out. So down here are our vegetable gardens, which are really great. We didn't have a super productive year. We had lots of flowers, but not so many vegetables. So come on this way.
And down here is our fire pit. We use a lot too. It's kind of a on the way moment. We're out here a lot. We added this bridge here. The water actually flows cut through here when it rains pretty hard, and all of this yellow, I think this is chickweed, I could be wrong, but all this yellow flower here is all like been seeded and is an unirrigated part of the landscape.
So here's where we have our vegetable garden. We spend quite a bit of time out here. We got a lot of flowers in general this year, but not so many vegetables. Like I was saying, it happened to be a cold spring and early summer. And yeah, this space is all maybe a year old. All of these trees that we planted, it's about a year old, little over a year. And then we also planted a fruit orchard as well, with lots of peaches and apples and pomegranate and all sorts of different fruit trees. So I love this powder room. It's under the stairs. It's got like a really kind of magical quality about it. It's Mythical Creatures by Kravit, which we love. And one of the things that I love about this space is that it really took a wallpaper artist that knew how to install wallpaper to pull this off. We have a lot of angles on this in this room. And so we started the pattern in the middle of the ceiling and then wrapped it all the way down the room. And then he came in and painted a lot of the details back on that had to be cut out to make it work. It's a really great space.
A couple more things about this powder room. We did this in several parts of the house where we had like a ceramic towel or just something that didn't work, that we actually float a bed of sand over that and put a thin brick on top, which is a love trick, a trick we love to do, a love trick. Indeed, we love brick, and it's a real vernacular of the Southwest to have brick floors, and so nice and rustic. And then we also have this vanity here that we added, and these pendant lights. We do this a lot where we'll drop pendant lights down on either side of a vanity instead of one or two on the walls. Josef Frank magazine stand, and little mythical spot under the stairs. Love this little powder room.
I think that the two of us have always been creative, for sure. Matt and I have been together for a long time. I don't even know how many years. A long time.
19 years next week.
Yeah, it's our anniversary coming up. I forgot.
Here we need to.
We were together 7 years before that, though.
Yeah,
so a long time. And, we really grew up together. And we remodeled our first house together in Florida and then came out to New Mexico together, and Matt built our home and from the ground up. And it was on the top of this really beautiful hill. And Matt and I we're big dreamers, I would say. And we're not the type of people to let something stop us. I think there's like a certain sense of we got this that we both have. And so Matt really was able to make these dreams come true by building this beautiful home that we had before we moved here. And so that was really, I think that journey and building that house together was really the impetus for the business, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, both definitely creative. She studied medical anthropology, traveled in natural medicine. I got a mass communications degree, and then went straight into construction after that. Worked in an earth ship and got to work with solar, and then so renewable energy and off-grid homes was a big, was my first career, and we didn't have a whole lot of budget, but we noticed so much of it was going to shelter magazines, and so much so they're becoming like furniture pieces themselves, and yeah, when we remodeled that house, and it just being, as an electrician and being around construction and figuring out how to like scale drawings and use drawings, we like started playing around with just pencil drawings, scaled rooms, and figuring out how, you would design like that together. And yeah, I think we had like early careers, like we went into our careers pretty young.
Yeah, and we bought a house together when I was, I want to say 24 or so. And then we moved out here, and I wanted to pivot careers, and I emailed every interior design firm in town and said, look, I just want to be around this. I want experience with it, and I'll sweep floors, I'll do whatever it takes. And I ended up getting a job, was with them for a few years until our daughter went into elementary school, and then went out on our own. And it was the best decision we could have ever made.
Definitely.
I think we're really good at working together. I think I definitely wear the design pants in the family, but Matt is really good at layering, and I would say Matt's like the type of creative person that's really good at anything that he does. And so I also think that Matt really brings a groundedness to our design. He's also a little bit more glam than I am.
Glam, yeah.
Yeah, he is a little bit more glam.
Yeah, when we first started, I would get all the like modern jobs.
Yeah, he did all the modern jobs at first, and I that would just, minimalism was like not my thing at all. But he was able to kind of temper that and figure that out. And now as the business has grown and we've started to do more personal projects, he really takes those on, and I take on the more of the design projects. But yeah, we make a really good team, and I think this house is a really good example of us working together.
When we decided we wanted to start this business, like one of the things Heather really read a lot about, besides, developing our eye and like, the books and magazines, like you would think interior designers would be into, there was like a wave of like how to market, how to start your own business, how to run your own business, and like really thinking through all of that. And she was still at home with the island, just like dove into really understanding the nuts and bolts of all of that, because it's such a big part of the business. Being able to put together a house or a room is really like a small part of it all. But
sure.
Heather is really like, it's in her DNA and everything she is, like become like a great business leader. And really that's, wearing pants or not, she mainly wears dresses, but she like has really like been at the helm, especially since we did this house and we're working on personal projects more, but built a great team people really rely on. She's really worn the pants doing that while she did that.
Yeah, but we eat, sleep, and breathe design, I would say, and we have an amazing team behind us at the firm that makes it all come to life. So now we're coming into the primary bedroom, which we wanted to use really much more muted colors in here and layer pattern. So one of our favorite aspects of this room is this Coley Home 4-poster bed. I love it. It feels like sleeping in a cave. It's really cozy and fun. And we did full height drapery in here with this Beata Human fabric, and then layered in this Sewn Britain stripe pillow fabric. We like to use velvet quite a bit, so we have the silk velvet blanket on the bed, which is really lovely. Our dogs sleep up here with us, and they perch up on this little sofa at the end of the bed, which I love. And they'll, one of them is usually between us, and two are on the sofa, which makes it a full house. And we have this Gustavian piece here, which one of the interesting things about this is that it was meant for traveling. And so it actually lifts apart and becomes two different steam trunks, which is pretty neat. And we have a Christopher Spitzmiller lamp here with a Penny Morrison lampshade. And then we have another Cooper Classics mirror here. And then this little beaded piece was from Matt's mom's shop that she closed down a long time ago.
Back in Fairhope. So when she traveled all over the world and would collect pieces, and I think she gave this to Heather.
Yeah,
full of first Christmases.
Full of essential oils, and she had a really great import and hot sauce shop down there. That's one of my favorite pieces that we have.
Love this chair and ottoman here. This is from Jim at Cachet out of LA, and love this piece. This ottoman is kind of my slipper chair where I put my boots on one at a time, just like everybody else. And this great early American convex mirror. I forget what the store.
I found it at an antique store in Florida some years ago, and it's traveled with us from house to house.
I don't know if it's actually from the era that it's kind of like a Federalist, but anyways, whether it's like an authentic antique or not, if it's got the patina, we can put it on a wall.
So this is a Kiva style fireplace that you see throughout New Mexico. This is a newer, updated version. They're usually wood burning. This one is not, but it's got this diamond plaster on it, which is very traditional for New Mexico, and we just have it styled with plants and some fun knickknacks. So now we're headed into the primary bathroom. So this bathroom was originally done in the 1990s. This whole part of the house was, and it had, that look. It had a lot of tile and glass block, and
era.
Yeah. And it just needed to be updated, but the layout was great of the space, and so we kept the layout, and we just did cosmetic upgrades, which was easy to do. And originally there was steps up to the bathtub, and so we did this freestanding bathtub, which we love. Both Matt and I take baths all the time. And then we did this vanity, this custom vanity that we adore. It has tons of storage, and we brought the storage to go all the way up to the ceiling. And we really wanted this space it has really great natural light in it, and so we really wanted this space to feel like a part of the garden, and so we did this Sewn Britain vining wallpaper throughout the entire space all the way up onto the ceiling, and then added in this really beautiful Sewn Britain striped drapery as well. So we found this really fun cast Sewn Britain lighting, which we thought was really playful and cute. And then we brought in these Cooper Classics mirrors as well, and Waterworks faucets. The hardware is from Modern Matter. It's all sand cast brass. And then we had a remnant piece of stone that we used, and it pulled together really seamlessly. Matt remodeled this in 4 weeks.
Yeah, luckily it was just surfaces and fixtures and finishes, and didn't really have to move anything around or any real construction.
Yeah, it was easy.
Yeah.
Another aspect of this bathroom that we love is this green marble mosaic on the floor. I was in a historic train station somewhere, I can't remember, and saw something really similar, and then we patterned this after that. I love how it feels contemporary, but it's very traditional and really stand the test of time. So when we first met, we were at Auburn University in Alabama, and I was sitting on the concourse on this brick wall, and this guy started walking over to me, and I was the only person on the concourse, and he came and sat really like weirdly close, and I thought, okay, weirdo.
It's like, hey buddy, get away from her.
No, I was totally by myself. He came and sat really close, and then he didn't say anything, and I thought, like, what is happening? This is strange. And then he asked me for the time, and I looked, and I lived in Florida. I had just gotten back from Florida, and it was 11:11, and that was the wrong time. It was an hour earlier. And so I told him 11:11, and I thought he was late for a class, and he just like bolted and took off. I was like, okay, odd. And then soon after that, we ended up meeting at a party, and he was dressed in this like white cowboy outfit, and I thought, you look fun. That was that.
What do you mean I was like sitting close to you? Like,
You came and sat like oddly close.
well, you
to me.
also like, so the quad was like the zone to like hang. It was like,
Yeah, but there was literally nobody else out there.
yeah, but you are like in our like prime spot, right?
Yeah, sure.
So it's not like, I mean, I came and sat, I mean, like close, like,
Yeah, you came and sat right next to me.
I don't know. Can we redo that? No, just kidding, like that. No, okay. Yeah, I mean, that was pretty auspicious. It was like 11:11, but like,
Yeah, so that's our
You
number
know.
now.
yeah, that's the meet cute. So this is our guest room here. Another room with a view.
Yeah, this is a really great space, and originally this wall was drywall, and we found this Tusnul paper that we love that exactly matched the plaster of the walls, which is really hard to do because it comes from a specific part of the mountain as they're excavating it. And so we got really lucky that we didn't have to plaster this wall. And yeah, so we have this 4-poster bed in here. And it's just a really sweet guest room. Yeah, so we decided to go with this buffalo check drapery in here, which is by Beata Human. And it's like this updated kind of pink, red, white, and blue theme in here, with lots of florals and color and pattern. I think one of the things that I really love about this space is that it does have a lot of color and pattern in it, but it feels sophisticated. And I think that when you play with colors and kind of mute things down a little bit, that kind of lends itself to that sophisticated aspect that you want to aim for when you're using a lot of color and pattern. So this is the Wonderland part of the house. It's very colorful and bright and airy. And this is Isla's room. This is our daughter, Isla. And I thought it'd be really fun for her to take you around her room and tell you all of the things that she loves about it.
Welcome to my bedroom. When we were designing my bedroom, we really wanted it to feel sort of bright and fun and airy as I was going through my high school career. So I kind of told my mommy that I wanted a sunset, sunrise type of feel, and I think my favorite detail is all around on the corners of my walls. We have these beautiful floral and star designs that I helped design with my mom. I kind of love personalizing a space that's already designed, so what I have kind of done with my bedroom is a lot of flowers and just like, as I am a teenager, it gets very hectic and very chaotic in my room. Clothes go everywhere. But one of my favorite things that I love about it is it always looks beautiful no matter how much of a mess it is. I love it. It's beautiful.
So our dear friends Gordon and Dunning did a collection with Dillard's about a year ago, and this was part of that collection. And then we layered it with a silk velvet blanket as well, and then a vintage Suzanne custom pillow that we had made, which is backed with a Sister Parish fabric. And then we found these beautiful plant stands over here on Cherish, which is, you know, a site that I love. It's a great place to find unique pieces. And then her 4-poster bed was actually in a client's house that it was a hotel that we were doing, and we couldn't use this bed anymore, and Isla fell in love with it, and they graciously gifted this bed to her. It was very, very sweet. Here we have a custom vintage chair that I found at an antique store that Isla actually fully designed this piece where she did the mohair on the back and then did a really fun toile fabric on the front and then a stripe on the seat. It's very personalized and very, very her. And this is where she does her homework and makeup and, you know, things like that.
One of my favorite photographers is Slim Aarons, and some of my favorite pieces are the summer photos that he does. Here is one, I'm pretty sure it's in Italy, and then this one's also in Italy. I love the like laid back, warm feeling of my bedroom, and I feel like these pieces add a lot.
So now we're in our guest room, and this space is really used for guests, obviously, but also Isla's sewing room. She's an amazing seamstress and loves to design clothing. So this space is used for that, which is great. We have a really beautiful screen-printed Galbraith and Paul wallpaper in here. And then we painted the ceiling a really buttery yellow. And one of my favorite details is this Schumacher trim on the drapery.
I love this room because there's a lot that goes on in here. We have lots of sleepovers, lots of sewing happens. I do a lot of homework in this space. I love it. It feels so cozy and warm and lovely.
When people step inside our home, I want them to feel comfortable and like they want to stay for a long time. We love to entertain, and I am never happier when there's like our house is full of people, and so it's really important to us to be able to have people just put their feet up and be casual and make a mess and feel like it's their place.
Yeah, definitely. To come in and have fun. What does the word home mean to me? It means, I mean, of course, a house and where you live your life and, you know, you're based, but I would say home to me is like that feeling of like being like out from the world and like into your family and yourself.
Yeah, and I would say home for me is where, you know, where our family is and where all of our loved ones are. And it's our soft place. Thanks, Homeworthy. It was so great spending time with you.
Till next time, bye.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to go to homeworthy.com for exclusive content, shopping guides, and so much more.